So, standing on your feet. And if you can get the overall sense, as best you can, feeling as if your head is up here, this sense of a weight up here, if that feel anything there, you know? Conventionally, when you close your eyes, what kind of head do you have? Perhaps not so much, or just one you imagine is there. Right? So you find the connection between, where you get the sense of the connection between that and the neck. It's most important. Because if your head isn't connected to your neck, nothing else is going to work. And that place can be quite stressed, actually. Can we take the neck as more important than the head, so just drawing the neck so it's in line with the spine. In fact, it is the spine. So not letting the head drag us forward. Connecting the head, the neck, so the neck brings the head back, rather than the head pulls the neck forward. The neck itself is in line with the spinal axis. The neck extending down from the neck, down through between your shoulder blades, open your shoulders, so that area is not pinched or constricted. Open your shoulders, extending down into the middle of the body. You can feel your belly expanding as if it's rising from the spine and then falling back onto it. It's, if the spine is in true, that would be quite easeful, as if you're lying on your back. Come towards the lumbar region. There's another area of difficulty, stress, the lumbar, where the spine and the pelvis join. This is where we can bend. Wherever there's a possibility of bending, there's a possibility of over-bending. You know, the body, particularly with cars and chairs, this area gets really over-bent and it loses its proper position, so people tend to sway back, or collapse back. Drawing lumbar region connecting to the sacrum, the tail, and just gently drawing the sacrum forward. So you're very slightly inclining it forward, so you feel the lower abdomen feels quite full, not tight, but certainly complete. It's not collapsed, it's not sagging. It's something that feels quite toned, you might say. Okay, descending down through the spine. Widen your awareness across the back of your pelvis. Relax those big muscles, the top of the legs, the buttocks. And now it's going to go to two legs. We require balance, evenness. So this can only be done through the muscles. Bones hold structure, muscles hold balance. So to hold the balance, the muscles have to be not locked straight but soft so they can flex. You don't have to do anything with them, but just ask them to find balance for you. If you soften your knees, it allows your thighs and your calves to be more potent, flexible, and ask them to get you in balance. They'll do the rest. And see if they're coming to your feet. And your pelvis, try to get the sense of the pelvis is directly above the feet. Not leaning back, not pushing forward. So everything seems to go straight down. So your feet feel really very potent, strong, rich. They're full. They're carrying all the weight. That's what they're designed for. They transfer the weight through the soft tissues of the feet into the floor. So the space between the ball of the foot and the heel of the foot, the under arch, bring your awareness there. How does that feel? What's the feeling of it? Physical feeling? Probably slight. Energetic tingle, maybe? A sense of potency, because you can, in this area you can imagine you're about to jump using your feet. You pull the toes back, you pull up through the feet, you tighten that area. If you're about to jump, you tighten the area, and relax, lengthen and expand that area, the undersole, under arch of the foot. So if you're about to jump or you're tightening up, you constrict it, just like I do with my hand, and then you do the opposite, release it. Work with that a little bit, because sometimes it's not exactly either, it's sort of stiffened. So you tighten it completely, tighten your calves, as if you're gripping with your feet, and then steadily release, 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 release. Expand your feet. So let's have a little loosening up and using your legs to shake everything else gently down, shake your shoulders down. Use your legs to pump your breath, so you relax your belly. So if you can't breathe through your chest, you can only breathe with your legs. And let it really give you a shake. Shake your arms and your whatever. Let your tongue be loose and your forehead be loose. And then just gently let it quieten down, and see if you can keep that loose quality to your upper body, your arms, your fingers, and strong legs. Moving with a very small movement. The idea of this is to be able to move from the center, the abdominal belly center. Use this as the leader, and keep your chest and shoulders relaxed. So normally we'll tend to, move from up here, and the body follows it. Now we're going to move from down here. Let the arms be loose. So it's just reorienting how the body moves. Moving from the belly, hips, and turning. So as you turn, so put your weight, let your weight come onto your left leg, bend your left knee. Right leg, pull the toes up and pivot on the heel. Right. So, and then use the abdominal region to gently swing the body. And as you come back to the center, right foot goes down, right leg knee bends, left foot, the toes pull back, stretch the sole of the foot. Stretch behind the leg, so straight leg. Use the toes to pull the foot back, pull the sole open, and you send this stretch through the back of the leg. So there, and roll the body. So imagine, again we have the string puppet, and if you imagine it's all strings and wires running through the body, and now the strings in the foot, the toes, you pull the foot, as you pull those toe back, the string running up the back of your leg pulls your body over, like that, look. So it's got a string there. So we're not operating from the upper, using the foot. Pull the body over. Let the arms be loose, useless. It's all in your feet. Okay, let's just quieten, relax, keeping some of the playfulness of that image, no longer so stiff and important. Let's turn in the knees. You could even do this one. You could do it keeping the standing, and just use your knees So you also feel you're turning with your hips. So you're stirring a pot, stirring a pot of porridge. It's kind of, as you know, don't want to miss anything. It's a nice wide, full stir. Bend your knees. The flexions, knees, hips. And if you keep your body loosely upright, not rigid, then what will occur as you're using your legs, you begin to massage this area in here. Just these areas here. This takes a lot of stress carrying the weight of the body when you sit meditation. A lot of weight comes down here. So just using this stirring movement, and it kind of you can exercise called the clock. So if you go as far as you can to the left, as far as you can forward, as far as you can to the right, as far as you can back. So you describe a circle with your hips. So we've moved the flexion up to the hips. As far as you can forward, to the right, back, and in both directions. Okay, let's come back to standing, and we'll go to the string puppet. Just another kind of footnote for all of these exercises. You don't use maximum effort. Use 80% effort. Use 80% effort. If you're someone who really wants to get it right, use 70% effort. So as your performance standards go up, you've got to recalibrate to down. Because you need to adjust to something you're generally over much too high. So just take it down. And this sense of a lightness, a softness, a playfulness is really, this is metta. In a way, it's that same energy. It's not a big mission. It's not trying to come. It's just kind of trying to know you fully in a warm and gentle way. So, letting the body know itself. So, string puppet. Maybe you can move your arm from your shoulder. Nice and fluid. And remember this particular position of the hand, where, as we did with the foot, the fingers are pulling the palm open. Pulling the palm open. And we also include the thumb. This area here is our claw. The opposite thumb. So you want to get this crease to disappear. So as we open, and using that pulling the fingers back and then lengthening the arms. And just as you did with the leg, you get the tensile quality running up your arms. Where does that go? Where do you feel that line run? Okay, where does it run to? Your bicep, tricep, armpit? Any obstacle, any block? Can it come into the centre of your back? So clearly there'll be a very strong quality of it, and then it'll be perhaps slightly tail off into something softer. But can this even centre of my chest? Something different. Centre of my back, and now the soles of my feet. It's all connected. Relaxing the face. Soles of the feet, palms of the hands, opening, and the connection to the spine in the center. And relax. So again, these are little pieces. You can do one little piece on its own, just doing that, one arm, feeling the differences. But in this particular move, then that's part of what we move through. Another part of what we move through is a sense of the arising. The arising is not me dragging my arms up, but a quality pulling from the back of the wrist and a quality gently lifting into the palm. Encouraging the palm to be sensitive, not to be like a dead thing. Encouraging it so that as it comes up, it opens. You feel the shift in the palm from something quite soft and restful into something that opens and then becomes quite strong. And as it comes down, it becomes soft again. So, no break. No break. It's a wave. Rising, widening, breathing out through the hands. Feel them opening, strengthening, softening, breathing out. End of the out breath turns into the in breath. Rising. And keep it so it's smooth and your awareness doesn't break it. So in other words, we don't conceive it as 1 bit, 2 bit, 3 bit, 4 bit. It's just one whole flowing piece with no break. Your awareness stays with all of it, including your feet, your back, space around you. Changes of the breathing and the mental tone, the mood, any kind of quality of mood or tonality. So this does include your face as well. So whenever we tend to do something, there can be a slight holding in the face because we're trying to see how this happens, and we slightly tighten in our forehead or around our mouth. Maybe that's natural, but increasingly to relax the face, because those tissues are part of the body. Okay, let's just let that one subside. Doesn't exactly finish, it just fades. And we are where we are. You may not be where you were 3 minutes ago. So particularly because it may be something that one's attention doesn't normally register, just be aware of the felt space around you. Maybe that makes sense, but you could say the atmosphere around you, quality of the space around you, and how you feel with that. So this, I'd say, also is a constant reminder to come back to every time we come back into neutral. You have the form, what's happening within this, around it, equal value. So I think we'll go to the bow and arrow. So I'm generally taking one or two pieces, one or two forms at a time, and so I'll do this one and then maybe another one or two, and spend a little more time in the standing position. So let's go back to this one, bow and arrow. Remember opening your back, shoulders, feeling of the sympathy between the hands. So they're like two dancers. They first meet each other. Then coming up your back from your legs, feet, legs, hips, back, lifting the arms or rising the arms from beneath rather than pulling from above, as if there's something coming up your body, lifting your arms till they're at shoulder height, palms facing down. Bring the palms face forward, bend at the elbows, and also bend at the shoulders. So you come round to this. Just take you through that again. It's clearly when we bend our arms, normally we do this. That's bending my arm, because my arm begins here. Qigong, your arm begins here. So when you bend your arm, you come from the shoulder. So it's very circular. So the move comes from the back, comes around. Bending the elbow is perhaps less than you'd imagine. As with the shoulder. So this all remains quite relaxed. And then you have this curve here. Now if I bend here, then this is closed. Right? It's closed. It's closed, this is cut off from this. It's closure. If I bend from here, this is not closed. This is open. So therefore, this includes my chest. It's not broken. It includes my chest. It includes my back, both shoulders. You can feel the gap between the shoulders widening, lessening. So now the whole form is included. So very important. You notice when there's a shock, we tend to tighten up, compress, rigid, lose bits. This is the embracing, getting around it. Okay, so let's take the bowstring with our right hand and form the bow with the left hand, fingers pulling back, eager to open the palm, thumb pulling back so this palm is as open as it can be. Keep that. Whatever happens to your arm, try to prioritize this here. And the eyes are now linked to this bow hand. Where that hand moves, those eyes are going to move and they'll take the head around. Okay, so breathing out. Drawing the bowstring back into the right armpit, extending the left arm, bringing forward, opening the palm, breathing out. Breathing in, hands know each other, they change into their opposites, ready to flow, so there's no break between one piece and the next. As they swing back towards each other, they start to shift into their opposite forms. And breathing out. So, a sense of the head being slowly turned, and remember, as you get more confident in it, see if you can slow the movement down rather than speed it up. So you can almost imagine you detect every It's not me. Don't take it literally. Increasing amount of the fibres of embodiment. You can feel them warming, moving, tightening, loosening, opening, stretching. And it includes the head and the face, so the head is already part of it. So your face using the eyes. So first of all, they've just been connecting to the bow hand. Now as you stretch the bow, you sharpen your eyes to take aim. They're about to shoot an arrow. Sharpen and then release. Take aim between the two lead fingers, sharpen your focus, release the arrow. Gradually let the movement subside, letting your arms drift and seeing where the energy leads them. Space around, space within. So let's still move into cow gazing at the moon. Without a bell. So again, it's kind of quite similar in a way. Yeah, the same kind of quality of the hands. Remember, also get the arm to come from the shoulder. So this is open. So it can include your chest, so everything can run through the hands into this area here. Really very significant area. This is the platform of the head and the throat. This is where these things can be held down. When we close to defend, hold down, so we don't find it coming out. So this is so important to get this area given some care and attention. So, cow gazing at the moon. The hips, as we did, we can move from the hips rather than the shoulders, and they govern the movement. So turn from the hips as you can, without extending your movement of your shoulders. So only turn as far as your waist will allow. Swing. Just even doing this, just to remember the body, the skin is a sense organ. So as you're rubbing space with your chest, is that okay? Can you meet that? Are you held back? Are you moved? Can you meet the sense of your skin touching the space? Okay, so got that. Now the other element is the arm element. So we're breathing out, turning, and breathing in, coming back to the center. So we breathe out, the arms roll like you're rocking a cradle. Yeah, your arms roll up to face height. Nice, isn't it? Okay, so there's that movement. I want to digress a little, actually, just bear with me, but in your hand, and close your eyes, bring your hand so as it's coming slowly towards your face. Just like we're doing with our hands before, just far away and then track it. When does the face start to recognize the hand is, the skin recognize the hand is coming towards it? How is that? As it gets closer, don't physically touch, just come as close as you can and let your skin intelligence know, almost touching. And then drawing back. And it comes towards your face. Relax your neck. Just move your hand as it's close to your face. Your hand comes close to your face. Move your hand and face as one thing. as if your face is resting in your hand. Particularly using the movement, because then the body recognizes there's the moving and there's something that isn't moving. So it's able to discern the quality of something more constant because it's got something to measure it against. There's that moving thing and there's that sense of something there, which is establishing a felt connection, like a Bluetooth, between two devices, so they know each other. So let your hand just almost like asking permission, just going to move back a little. I'm not going to drop it, not going to lose the connection, just going to widen the space through which that connection runs. There it is. I'm not going to drop the connection, just going to increase the space. Still, when my hand moves, okay, let's go back to the movement. I think this may help give a little quality to that, because as your hands swing up, maybe your face lights up a little. Come into connection. It's not as if you lose the connection, but as your hands come up, face brightens a little. So, breathing out, coming to the side, and breathing in, coming back to the center. Breathing out. Breathing out. Establish the flow and the connections. So, that's nicely there, increasingly there. As you come to the turning now, give the hands a little more action. You're going to again pull the fingers back, open the palms. And pull the fingers back, open the palms, breathing out. The degree to which there's a connection to the face, you'll get some sense of the face also brightens a little more. The mood, the tone could be something like surprised, Could be something like surprised, astonished, not thinking, just very open-eyed, open face, cow gazing at the moon. Slow it down. Linger the out-breath, let it complete. Wait for the in-breath, slow. Opening the front of your body with the in-breath. And closing the out-breath. So let's quieten the movement, slowing it down till we come back to the neutral without breaking. Stay in connection. Space within, space without. Gather back to the center, the abdominal center, bringing the hands to rest, connecting to that swelling of breath, swelling, so your abdomen expands into your hands. As you breathe in, as you breathe out, hands dip into your body, as if there's no real distinction. So then relax the form and stay with what seems helpful, particularly in terms of outer space and inner. Remember those reference points are there. We don't just live inside this. We are moving through. We cannot exist without space around us. And this cannot. It's always there. This isn't just some kind of, invention. But now you're highlighting it. It gets ignored. You notice what it's like when tissue comes towards tissue. You really sense, space is about. Okay, thank you very much.